sanctuary rooms, which is downstairs. We have a jar, so let's go down and take a look at that. Talk to the story there. So we have the modern church, Byzantine, the 4th century. Now let's go to the 1st century ruins of Canaan.
Smart guy.
Alright, go right here. You guys can have a seat. We'll be here.
Michael, you share your insights and then I'll correct everything.
You're really sitting in 5th century.
Jackson.
Well done on the walk too. Thank you, Justin. We did figure it out. We came the right path. You're sitting in 1st century ruins behind you here. But what's interesting is the story that took place here. So let's read through that. I'm sure I'm not loving you guys, but it's found in John chapter 3. So if you want to read it later on, it says on the 3rd day a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. So it's kind of interesting. There's debate on whose wedding this really was because of the involvement of Mary. And it could have been somebody relatively close to Jesus, possibly, but just food for thought. When the wine had gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "We have no more." I felt bad as a guy. They have no more wine. "Dear woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My time has not come yet." His mother said to his servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water," so they filled them to the brim, to the top. Then he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper one after the guests have had too much wine to drink. But you have served the best till now." This, the first of miraculous signs Jesus performed at Cana in Galilee. He thus revealed his glory, and his disciples put their faith in him. So one of the first things that started here, you can take a look at one of them that we believe would have been used in that miracle that took place.
So,
Yeah.
he didn't lose, huh?
No, these are huge.
Right.
There's no,
So,
here's a few thoughts on it, just to give you some deeper, maybe some things that have wrecked me over the years. These are ceremonial washing water jars. So they're the ones that you're supposed to wash your hands with all of, as you come in, you're washing off your grum, you're washing off all the grime, so that you can be proper when you come into the wedding. So that's the dirty water that Jesus brought into pure. And then you go back to our talk about what we did at the garden tomb, which was we talked about how Jesus used wine as a representative of the covenant and his sacrificial blood. So you just see the symbolism that Jesus is doing in this. And then the other thing that I love, and probably why they're open too, is because Jesus' mom was I think we've talked a little bit about this as a group at times. Like, I think too often in the Protestant church, we have devalued Mary. We haven't given her due right as a courageous woman, as a leader, as a faithful one. I mean, the things that she endured to bring Jesus into the world, we kind of devalue it. Even Jesus, and we read this a little bit wrong. We're like, he's speaking to her like, "Oh, woman, who are you?" You know, no, that's not the cultural type. Honestly, women in the Middle Eastern culture and Eastern culture are very revered. Very revered. The mother of a household is so revered. Because often, and there's some other things to know, like often it was women who would outlast men because they were often married to older men. Right? So it was the mom who would caretake much longer than the father would. So it's just, you see all of these moments happening, but to me, the thing that always will wreck me on it is Jesus takes the dirty water and turns it into the best. And why that's actually a problem, again, this is a multi-day celebration.
Mm-hmm.
So he made not one, right? What we can assume 6 of these for a multi-day celebration. And that was a big mistake. It sounded like they ran out of wine early in the celebration. And so for him to do that, you just think about the ways that he brings value and honor back to the family in a way, because they wouldn't be without wine. He brings honor to his mother by listening to what she asked. He brings honor to all of us by taking what was dirty and making it restored, clean, pure. Just absolutely beautiful. And I think sometimes we always think of like, oh, it's just a little bit of water. I'm like, these are 6 large containers. So,
How many gallons are these?
30 to 30.
yeah,
20 to 30. Did I read?
at least
20
30,
to 30. I believe what I asked.
I thought you said
20 to 30.
He's holding 20 to 30 gallons. This is John chapter.
I've got a few questions. Actually, I don't have any questions, just kidding. I wanna make an application. As you guys are telling your stories, I'm thinking of my story.